Hello, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Claw and the King. How you doing today, Zoopy?
I'm doing fine. Really excited for the upcoming week of sport, I would say. It's not this week, but Premier League begins next week, which I'm very excited about. Football's coming back. Football's coming home. In winter, in
summer.
Yeah, winter and summer. So, but there's a lot to talk about. I think there's a lot to happen in the world of sport, especially Australian sport, I'd say. In particular, Rugby League that we'll probably get onto. And yeah, I can't wait to get started with my best buddy over here.
That is so great to hear. So I guess we'll start with the Rugby League. Obviously, a big news week for the NRL. If you don't follow NRL in Australia, it's kind of like, what are you doing with your life?
Well, they could either be, what are you doing with your life, or you could be Victorian. Either one.
Even still, like, AFL.
But if you're Victorian, what are you doing with your life anyway?
Yeah, AFL has nowhere near the entertainment value that NRL
What are you
does.
doing watching AFL?
Well, not even on the field. Like, on the field, I guess it's comparable.
It's just
off the
embarrassing,
field,
bro.
off the field, there's no comparison. But I guess we'll start with the last match on Sunday.
Okay.
Obviously, the West Tigers were, they were robbed pretty much against the Cowboys.
Our good friend,
it was
who's
just
a Cowboys
it was
fan,
just
would not
hilarious.
agree with that.
Yeah, it was just hilarious how it all went down. Obviously, my man Ashley Klein was in.
Good on him.
Was in the bunker, and he's just carried his incredible form on throughout the season. Really, he's just really been an incredible refereeing season from this man. I don't know how he's done it, to be honest, but
Game changing.
I mean, yeah. Did you watch it live?
I didn't watch it live
Because I turned it on like with 2 minutes left or something. It's like, what the fuck? The Tigers are winning.
Yeah, they scored the game-winning try, which should have been game-winning try with like a minute 30 left. Dewey did run out the clock a bit. He was doing a bit of a...
Yeah, well, who wouldn't do that?
But yeah, that's fine. And then they do this short kickoff. First off, Valentine Holmes was offside. I don't know what it was.
Apparently they stopped the timer early from the goal kick. Like, it should have just ended there, but they stopped it early, so there was a second on the clock.
Yeah.
Then
but also, Valentine Holmes stepped onto the other side of the field before he kicked it, which you're not allowed to do.
Yeah.
And then he kicked it too long. Carl Felt sees that, says, you know what, I might take a bit of a dive here. I watched Tom Daley recently, the famous British diver. He likes a bit of diving in the Olympics. Who doesn't? It's a good sport.
He's been watching Neymar.
He's been watching a lot of football players. He just loves a bit of a dive. And it was so clear and obvious that it was a dive. He literally sought him out, looked at him, ran into him, and then just flopped to the floor. I mean, How could you perceive that as a penalty? It's so bad. And you could tell, even they talked about on NRL 360, how Paul Kent brought it up, it was probably his worst take of the year.
Kenty is, like, recently on 360, Kenty has just been terrible. Like,
I'm usually a Kenty fan, controversially, but yeah, he talked about how by the letter of the law, it could be perceived as a penalty, which I think anyone with brain...
It shouldn't even have been allowed to be challenged.
Well, that's...
The game ended.
The game ended, and he was like, challenged.
The ref was just like too scared to do anything, so the ref sought out Chad and was like, Chad, you want to challenge, right? You should challenge.
Yeah, please save me. I didn't call a penalty on this. I think it's a penalty. It was weird because the ref blew a soft whistle, whatever the fuck that is.
Has never been seen ever.
What is a soft whistle?
It's called soft pussy whistle. So
yeah, it's like
if
weird.
If you're a bitch, you blow the soft whistle.
But I've never heard of it, because it was before the challenge even came in from Chad Townsend. So he obviously saw something where he was like, I want to check this, but I can't check it because it's not in the rules.
You can. The bunk is clearly talking to him. You can see him going, I can't hear.
Yeah, please tell me.
Like, the bunk is obviously saying, mate, we got to check this, which they can't do.
Yeah, so they're basically holding time up to allow Chad Townsend to...
But yeah, it was just horrendous. And then you just get up there and you see the first replay before Ashley Klein starts talking. They go, oh, it's nothing. Game over. Let's go home.
Do you see James Graham?
The commentary was incredible.
Disgrace.
He's come in with a balaclava and a shotgun and he's robbed them. Just incredible. And yeah, when you hear him talking, he goes, the Tigers player has run sideways and impeded Kyle Felt, and going, oh fuck.
Yeah, everyone was like, "Oh my god,
here we go."
It was probably the worst call I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was like, and some people who were saying, he wasn't running to the ball. He can't run that direction. I'm like, when was that a rule in rugby that you have to run a certain direction?
You can somewhat like block the path of ongoing play.
It's not his job to get escort Felt to the ball. He's allowed to run wherever he wants.
Yeah, he just can't. He can't intentionally take someone out, which he didn't do. He just ran.
So it shouldn't even matter if he wasn't running towards the ball. He can run wherever he wants. But yeah, just a terrible call. And Ashley Klein, he's been dropped this week.
He should be fired. I mean, how did he get away with it?
The referee is just so bad, the NRL. And they talk about it, they think, are we just harder on refs than other sports, or are our referees actually just dog shit? And they just are dog shit. I mean...
Well, I mean, you look at...
There's other sports.
Football as well. They get rinsing in the Premier League with VAR.
They do. But I don't see as many fuck-ups in other sports.
Yeah, I can
For example,
understand.
in the NBA, they miss a lot of calls, fouls and shit, but that's really interpretive, a lot of foul calls in the NBA.
Yeah.
And the refs at least are confident to make a decision.
Well, yeah, the refs make decisions.
Yeah.
So, especially in Premier League and in the NRL, a lot of the refs are sort of relying on the technology, which I don't like, because the technology, again, can be up to interpretation. And it misses the general feel of the game, and it misses the general sort of flow. And if a ref can sort of identify a ref can vibe if a certain team's trying to play for calls and stuff like that, the technology takes that out of the equation, which it shouldn't do, because clearly Carl Felt, with that game situation, made that decision to dive to get a penalty. You could clearly see he had no intention of going for the ball. But the technology and how Ashley Klein interpreted it, he just looked bare on the facts. They made a collision. The ball runner, the guy, Carl Felt, and I forgot who the other player was, made a collision. Therefore, it's a penalty. And it's just ridiculous. It wouldn't be a penalty in the 22nd minute of the game. Never mind the 80th minute. But
no, I think it only was a penalty because it was the 80th minute.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
I think Ashley Klein was going, I'm going to boost the ratings here. I think we should get a goal kick after the siren to win the game.
He just wanted to be a hero, though. You could just tell.
He was just like, fuck yes, I've saved the game here.
Oh, yes, I made the right call.
There was going to be...
No, buddy.
The Cowboys were going to be robbed if it wasn't for me.
But it makes it doesn't impact the Tiger season too much. I don't know what
it does. About. They would have been off the bottom of the table.
Yeah, but what's the difference between 15th and 16th?
Well, the wooden spoon is a big deal. You don't want to win it.
But, I mean, it's just ego at that point. I don't really see.
And also at the top of the table, Cowboys
because they get a high chance of a home final.
Yeah, they would have been equal with Sharks and Broncos, I think, but now they're ahead of them on points.
But yeah, interesting call. But yeah, probably not the most... I was excited to watch NRL 360 as always. On a Monday night, and I was like, I can't wait for them to talk about this. And then the first topic I hear is probably the...
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But I just want to say I'm looking forward to the grand final now when I see Ashley Klein with the whistle in his hand. I can already see it. He's going to be reffing the grand final. He's come back from his suspension. He's picked up his form very well. He's blowing the whistle. The Panthers are kicking off. Nathan Cleary kicks it off the tee. We run down the field against whoever the opposition is. It doesn't matter. It'll be the Panthers against someone. And I'm just going to be shaking in my boots because that man's head could cost us a premiership. And I hope it doesn't come to that. But Ashley, I'll see you on grand final day, mate. And if you fuck up this back-to-back for us, I will find you and I will kill you.
Wow, what a great sort of speech that was. I really enjoyed that thoroughly. But
yeah.
I have more problems with another NRL ref, but we won't get into that.
Ashley is the worst ref. Do you watch Hello Sport?
No.
Nah, well, they were talking about on the bloke in the bar. Ashley Klein's their most hated ref as well. They were just
Jared Son should be number one. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, moving on to probably the most controversial topic of the week.
Yeah. So it's just a week of controversy in the NRL.
So, 7 Manly players refusing to play against the Roosters tonight, which is I'm kind of happy about because then there's a high chance that we win. But, they refused to play because of there was a pride sort of jersey that the Manly Seagulls came out. Another jersey, by the way. I mean, the Seagulls just love to release jerseys, but a pride jersey that the Seagulls decided to release, and 7 players decided not to play under that jersey. So, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, my thoughts are that it's just a complete shit show, really. I mean, I saw James Graham was on 360 yesterday, and he is fast becoming my favourite media person.
It's because he's English, though.
He just talks from the everyday man's perspective. Because all of the journos and Kenty and Braith, they were all like, you know what? Good on the players for standing up for what they believe in after the clubs just dumped this on them. And James Graham's gone, fuck that.
Mate,
it's a few colours on a t-shirt.
Rainbows on a jersey,
It's not worth missing a game over. This is the hill you're going to die on. Rainbows on a t-shirt. Like, it's a cool jersey. It looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, but that's
why. It's not like you're saying you want a dick up your ass.
Okay.
It's just a cool jersey.
Okay. But that was my first sort of impression. I love sort of if you look at the old school, Denver Nuggets NBA jerseys, I really like them. They got rainbow sort of design on them. And I don't know if it was to do with LGBTQ or whatever.
I don't think it would.
I don't think it was, but I think the rainbow design on a jersey looks cool. So I would have just, even if I was of heavy religious background, I would have just said, mate, this is a cool looking jersey. I will not perceive it as that.
You don't have to take any emotion into it. It's just But these players, I don't know. It's weird.
A point was brought up about the betting sponsors.
Yeah,
how they allow.
I don't want to shit on like God or anything, but I'm not religious personally. But
I thought you were Jewish.
No, well, I mean, but I'm not.
So you're
religious.
Disrespecting your ancestors? Is that what you're telling me?
I don't care, to be honest.
Okay, fair enough. I mean,
it's really selective. Like some things in the Bible don't matter anymore, like gambling. And I think you can't eat some foods like crab or something. Like all that shit's fine now, but the gay thing is still.
Well, I'm gonna probably stick my neck out a bit, but I do think a lot of the Christian people sort of use the Bible to weaponize it against certain groups of people. So I think especially gay people. Well, if you read the Bible, which I've read a couple of bits of it, I mean, if you look at a woman in a lustful way, you should gouge your eyes out, according to the Bible. So there's a lot of things in the Bible that everyday people do that isn't brought up about. And I think gay people, it's just such a small section of it. And because a lot of people have a natural dislike for gay people, I think it's just... Which is wrong, obviously. But mainly the Christian and heavily religious people have a dislike towards gay people in general. And I think they use their sort of religious books to sort of further that and sort of use it as evidence as to why they don't like them. Look, I believe that this is a good thing for the NRL. I think you should have sort of rounds where you're sort of like this. I don't think you should politicize it, but I do think that having rounds where you have just, pride things on jerseys or,
I think that they need to start an education program now, because clearly not all the Islanders, but a lot of the Islanders would have this opinion. So if 50% of the competition is Islander, so if you have a pride round now, that's half the competition that's going to sit out.
Yeah.
So they have to, I don't know, talk to these guys, explain to them that, you by not playing, you're just saying this person you're walking past the street who's gay, you don't think they should exist.
Yeah, well, it shouldn't even. I just don't think that it should be this big of a deal. Like you said, like James Graham said, mate, it's just a couple of fucking rainbows on a jersey.
Yeah, it's like
if you don't want to broadcast that you're in support of the LGBTQ or whatever your religious or cultural beliefs, you can just perceive it a different way. It's not like it's got "I love gay people" on the fucking jersey, does it? It's just a couple rainbows.
You don't need to be mates with them. It's just, and it's people saying it's like different to the Israel Folau thing. I think it's pretty similar to the Israel Folau thing. Like they're not actually verbalizing that they hate gay people like Folau did, but by saying they're not going to play, that's in my head. That's basically saying that.
Oh, we have a friend that like. Do you remember in school we had a friend that supported Israel Folau and he got absolutely rinsed. Yeah, anyways.
I feel like everyone that did that just did it as a joke, but
no, he was full on serious. He supported him. And look, I do think there is a line, or there is a sort of discussion that needs to be had about how people with cultural and religious beliefs should be able to sort of speak about it, especially if they're athletes or prominent athletes. They should be able to speak about it and not get persecuted if it's solely based on religious and cultural beliefs. However, on the flip side, you should be also accepting of people of different races, religions, sexual preferences or whatever. So I think it goes both ways, and I think this is a prime example of just you need to sort of not grow up as a player. Those players need to grow up or anything. I just think that
I don't know.
You need to just
religion needs to evolve.
Yeah, there's so many things in the Bible that are really dodgy. So what did James Graham say? Die on this hill or whatever.
Yeah, you want to die on that hill.
You want to die on the. I'm not going to say that they're homophobic or anything like that. I don't think they are. I just think that you've got to just accept that this is going to happen in society if you are of those beliefs, and you've just got to sort of, I don't know, view it a different way. I don't know how to really sort of illustrate it anymore.
It's you don't even have to think anything. Like, even if you're wearing the jersey in your mind,
you're not looking down at your jersey every 2 seconds. Oh my gosh, this is so bad.
These players have pretty much cost Manly their season. This is a must-win game.
It's not like I'd understand it much more if it was round 2.
If you're Penrith and you're 10 points clear of second, like, you can afford a loss. But like, if you lose this game, your season is over.
Yeah, this is with the Roosters as well, who are in the same amount of points as you, vying for the same position in the top 8, and you're just going to not play. I can't compare. And also, I do think Manly should take some responsibility, because if those players are adamant that they don't want to play in that jersey, surely you can sort of lodge it with the NRL that, hey, can these players play in the traditional Manly jersey?
Yeah, but I don't like that.
I don't like it, but there has to be some
what sort of professional sport has players wearing different jerseys?
I think there has been. I think there has been. I can't remember the example exactly, but what I'm saying is it was way too... You can't just spring this upon the players.
Yeah, it was badly handled by management and everything.
So it's got to be at the start of the season. You've got to have this discussion. Which round is going to be Pride round? Which round are you going to wear the jerseys? And then make it a lot easier. And especially, it was bad timing as well for Manly. I mean, Manly should have known that, especially when they lost Turbo early on, that it's going to be tough for them at the end of the season and they're going to be battling for the 8. You know this. And you're going to schedule a controversial round where you could potentially have a lot of players out because of cultural and religious reasons.
Well, I don't think they obviously didn't think people were going to sit out.
Well, I think that's underestimating it then. I truly do. Because I can't remember, has any other team ever done this in the NRL? Done a Pride jersey? So you've got to expect the unexpected from that standpoint. But yeah, our general statement is, we probably side with James Graham, like, mate, come on. It's just a couple of colours. If you don't agree with it politically or culturally or religiously, then fine. But it's just a couple of rainbows on a jersey, mate. So, however, Manly should have handled it better.
Yeah. I think I saw Trent Robinson's interview and he was basically saying the same thing. Like, I think it's a great thing to promote. Yeah. And he was basically saying if the Roosters did a Pride jersey, I would be in full support. And if my players didn't want to play, I would have a strong talking to them.
Yeah.
Like, he was basically like, if you want to play for the Roosters, we accept.
Yeah. It's just like, mate, you're going to sit out because we have rainbows on a jersey. It's just a bit too much. But moving on. Any more NRL news?
If you want. I guess we can talk about the most recent news, the controversy, I guess. We
can talk about it briefly. I mean, Stephen Crichton flopped a bit. I mean, it was nothing really. Yeah, it was a light cut on the year.
Stephen Crichton just dive of the century.
I think Dale Finucane was like, mate, you were that bad in State of Origin. You deserve this.
You need to be decapitated by my chin.
Yeah. let your state down. This is what and he's basically secured his spot in Origin next year.
Finucane?
Yeah.
How does Finucane get back in?
Because Freddie Fittler's going to be like, thank God somebody shut that yapping idiot up that lives in shithole Penrith. Thank God somebody shut Crichton up.
Yeah, but Finucane's like 32. He's not going to get back into
I want
Origin.
At least he has pride for the blue jersey. At least that.
I guess, but...
He's like, mate, you're not fit to wear the jersey. How about I just cut your ear open for it? But anyway,
he gets suspended.
I don't think it's a suspension at all.
No, I think it is.
Really?
And then,
it's a head clash.
So, exactly. But on 360, everyone thought it should have been a suspension except Braith.
Yeah.
Which is...
well, I mean,
I've never seen Braith get so animated.
Yeah, but none of them were former players.
No, James Graham was there.
No, James Graham wasn't there.
Yeah, he was.
Well, he might have been later, but I remember when Braith got into the argument with everyone else.
Or maybe it was the journalist.
No, it was journalist. I'm pretty sure Braith was the day before. James Graham was the day before with the...
Yeah, but I agree with them. I think if you're going to rush out of the line, you have a duty of care to not hit someone in the head.
Yeah, but they're all not former players. Braith is the only former player there.
I understand, but that doesn't mean...
It means that he understands that accidental head clashes happen all the time, and it's going to it's going to open up...
But it's an accident caused by Finucane.
Yeah, but it's going to open up a can of worms where you're going to have players who are getting head clash, who are getting hit in the head from a head clash. They're going to flop, they're going to faint.
But there's a difference. If you're running out of the line at speed, that's one thing. If you're just wrapping around to make a tackle and you hit someone else's head who's spinning around the other way, there's nothing you can do about that. But if you're coming out of the line to try and put a hit on, it's your responsibility to ensure you don't hit the attacker in the head.
Well, it was a head clash, though. He didn't hit him with his shoulder.
Yeah, but he hit him with
his head. I thought, look, they didn't give a penalty, which I was surprised. I thought it was a penalty, but I don't think it should have been a suspension.
Well, yeah, I think that's a fine call. I don't know about getting suspended, but I think definitely a penalty. I think it was definitely an infringement.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's a bad example to set for any head clashes, because there's situations of head clashes where you can clearly see it's just happens. But for this, in my opinion...
Well, he's not trying to lead with his head, is he?
He's not trying to lead with his head, but he's come out of the line at speed. So in my opinion, that's the defender's responsibility to ensure you don't make any sort of contact with the head. And he did make contact with the head. So,
well,
for mine,
agree to disagree.
Enough.
Moving on.
Oh
God, here we go.
Moving on to some F1.
My favourite topic.
French GP. Le Bleu.
Your home race.
I guess, sure.
So, standouts from the race. Ferrari are the dumbest group of idiots.
Ferrari, once again, it's just amazing.
I mean...
Just amazing.
If the special ed class was ever going to do a career choice, they should try and work at Ferrari, because they'll get in. I mean, my God, how dumb do you have to be a Ferrari race driver or whatever? Not race driver.
Well, this one was
whatever they're called.
This one wasn't even the team.
Whatever they call themselves, they're idiots. Whoever builds the car are idiots. Whoever directs the car are idiots. I mean, they're idiots. It cannot be a coincidence at this point. You saw Leclerc was like screaming into the...
Yeah, but that was kind of a driver error.
Well, didn't he mention something about the throttle as well?
Yeah, but I think that was when he was trying to get out of the wall.
But yeah, it was just unreal. Ferrari failing again. Max Verstappen, the rat, wins. Great.
Verstappen is winning a lot of races just by not crashing.
Yes. Christian Horner's like, right, all you've got to do, Max, is not die, and you win.
You can be sure these idiots in front of you are going to fuck it up, so...
And then fucking Toto's like, this is not right, my God.
Toto's like, why aren't we fast, Lewis? Come on.
No, he does the opposite. He's like, Lewis, I know this guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you are doing great, Lewis.
You are amazing, Lewis. We love you.
Lewis, please stay for another year, please. We're going to fix it, I swear. But yeah, surprising Mercedes got 2-3, I think it was. I think so. Yeah, Mercedes got 2-3. Yeah. So Mercedes potential constructors, I don't know, or maybe. No. I mean, Checo is unreliable at the moment. So
He's not unreliable. He's just not fast.
Ferrari are unreliable, and I think Mercedes are getting better and better each week. I think they've probably got the best driver lineup in terms of combined two drivers. I think they've got the best driver lineup. I don't know if you agree with that. Or,
them or Ferrari.
Well, I rate Russell over Sainz. I can't lie. But yeah, it was a disappointing race for my team, Haas. Yep. We had a couple faults. It wasn't our fault, but the upgrades for the Hungarian Grand Prix are coming. Oh my god!
I thought they already had upgrades.
No, I'm hearing more. I heard
This is
I heard in the grapevine.
Stuff.
Oh god! Can you imagine?
You've been in connection with Gunter.
Yeah, me and Gunty, best buddies. We look like fucking rock stars. That was my favorite line. Do you not know that line from Drive to Survive?
It's not coming to me, but
we look like a bunch of wankers. What is it?
This doesn't sound like him.
I can only do Toto. Toto is the only easy one. I can't.
Yeah, Gunter's hard.
This is not right. I just keep on thinking of Toto. But yeah, Gunter, I think next week, I'm predicting Haas 1-2. I don't know about you, but
Mate,
Haas 1-2.
You should get on that.
What are the odds on that? I want to see.
It would probably be in the thousands.
Could you imagine if I bet Haas for podium and they actually got it? That'd be dope.
Wow, that would be dope.
And I'd just be...
So dope.
I'd be dope. It'd be gnarly, dude. And then McLaren did better just simply because everyone around them failed. Danny Rick got lucky because
Rick is the least convincing points performance I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he would have finished 13th if everyone around him didn't have either grid penalties or crash or whatever.
Yeah.
But he finished, what is it, 9th or something?
Yeah, he finished 9th.
So Lando started 5th, I think. He was looking promising,
Finished
and then 7th.
So yeah, Alpine are faster than McLaren right now.
Yeah,
which is a little surprising.
Well, and Ocon's first ever points in France for this home race, so that was nice to see.
No one gives everyone hates Ocon.
Do they?
He's a fucking loser. But
he's won a GP. I mean, he should be.
What does that? That doesn't mean I have to like him.
Oh well, I don't think he's that unlikable. I think the only unlikable guy is Max Verstappen, but that's just me. Who else? What are the other standout news stories from the race? It wasn't that interesting, especially after.
It was literally just Leclerc crashed
again,
and then it was pretty much standard for the rest of the top 10.
At the start, it was Max and Leclerc sort of fighting it out, and then Leclerc, I thought, got some distance. He didn't pit, and obviously that cost him, I think, because his tyres gave out. So, moving on to the next race,
Hungary.
Who do you think's going to win?
Well,
Toto. He's got Mercedes 1-2.
It has to be Ferrari or Red Bull, but because Ferrari look like they have the faster car, right?
Or Haas.
Shush.
Haas.
Shush.
Haas. Kevin Mack.
No. Ferrari look like they have the faster car.
Kevin Mack.
Shut the fuck up about Haas.
I love Haas.
Okay.
Kevin Magg's my adopted son, even though he's
they finish 15th and 16th every week. Don't talk about them.
They didn't finish. They finish like 8th and 6th every week.
No,
they're the most consistent team on the grid.
They're coming 8th out of 10.
That was because we've had multiple failures. It's a Ferrari engine. You can't rely on it.
Right. Well, Ferrari are coming 2nd, so
yeah, it's just luck. That's just dumb luck.
Right.
So yes, moving on. I think Hungarian Grand Prix. I don't know. I have a feeling
Ferrari should win every race. Realistically, they just suck. So
yeah, I'm feeling a Lewis win. I'm feeling a Lewis win to upset everyone.
This is going to be a poor race from Lewis. I think he's had 4 maybe podiums in a row.
Yeah.
So his luck's going to end.
I think it's going to.
He's either going to crash or just finish badly.
I think it's going to keep going. I think Louis boy, he's going to win the Hungarian Grand Prix. So moving on, next topic.
Moving on to the next topic, I think it's
soccer. Got me. Football.
Oh no. Well, we'll quickly talk about Boston wanting KD.
Boston. Can you do a Boston accent? Boston.
No, I can't.
Boston.
That doesn't sound like a Boston.
You don't think that's a Boston accent?
No, it doesn't sound like
Boston. You're like, it's Fenway, man.
I can't even do it. I can't even begin to attempt it.
But yeah, Jaylen Brown being traded. apparently for Kevin Durant, which he sort of made a cryptic message on Twitter.
SMH.
SML. Or SMH.
SMH.
Yes.
Shake my head.
Is it shake my head?
Or shake my hand.
I thought it was suck my whatever.
Heel?
Yeah, I thought it was suck my heel. But yeah, it was a very surprising news story to come out. I mean, the guy was your best player on a championship contending team, and you're trying to ship him off. I mean, he was better than Jason Tatum.
Yeah, if anything, you should be training Tatum. Fuck that guy.
I didn't really comprehend it. Derek White was in the deal as well, and a first-round pick. I just don't know why the Celtics would do this.
Yeah, it doesn't make much.
How old's Kevin Durant? He's got to be 34, 33 at this point.
Yeah, he's getting up there. Not much logical sense to it, but I guess...
For an injury-prone guy who's never won anything...
There's no guarantee he even makes it to the end of the season. I really don't get it. I mean,
I don't get the Nets' value on him as well. They think he's just... Jesus Christ. I don't really comprehend it.
Utah have fucked everything up. That Gobert trade.
Fuck Rudy.
The Gobert trade has just made everyone's value.
Rudy's fault all the time. So everything wrong with the NBA is Rudy Gobert's fault. The coronavirus, Rudy's fault.
Yeah, it's literally just all Gobert. Fuck Gobert.
The problem with the NBA is Gobert. As soon as he leaves,
Kyrie would be a Laker right now if it wasn't for Gobert.
I don't think so.
He would.
I think the Lakers are just stupid. They're like, well, we're going nowhere, but I would not want to trade a 2028 first-round pick. It's like, what? You've got LeBron James at 37 years old. What are you waiting for a first-round pick for? It doesn't make much sense. We can't give a first-round pick away from Kyrie. Well, you don't have much choice because you've got a bunch of bums on your team and you need some semblance of talent. So I don't really understand what you're doing. And if I was the Nets, I wouldn't take anything less than 4 first-round picks if you're going to put...
4?
If you're going to put Russell Westbrook in the deal, I'm taking 4 first-round picks.
We don't have 4, so...
Well, don't do deals with the Lakers then. It's simple as.
But no one else wants him.
Well, I don't want him.
Exactly. But back to Boston. All this has seemed to do is just create friction between the players and ownership at Boston. Because I think Tatum...
Yeah, this is the bad news all around. Why would you even do it?
I think Tatum came out and said he wants Brown there. He's happy with the team he's got. I mean, the only...
You just added Malcolm Brogdon, didn't you?
Yeah, you just added Malcolm Brogdon, which is fucking getting rid of Smart of Marcus, who thinks he's a point god. You're not, mate.
He takes so many shots at the end of the games. It pisses me
you're
off.
a decent 2-guard, all right? Settle down.
But yeah, it's just ridiculous. Why would you even make this trade? I don't... Just... how did it became so public as well? It was just bizarre that you would... If you're going to make a trade like this, you got to make it quick. You got to do snap it. You can't just be doing long... It can't be a Lakers for Kyrie Irving trade. You've got to do it quick because you don't want to upset the morale at all. You don't want to have Jaylen Brown in that locker room where he's just going to be moping around because he's like, oh, these guys don't want me. I was the best team on a finals team. I was the best player on a finals team and nobody wants me.
I'm not the one that choked here.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason over there.
How about you ever look down the corridor, mate? I was shot 4 of 17.
I was at 30% from the field looking in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous how the Celtics are even considering it. And if I'm the Nets, I'm like, we'll take a young superstar for a 34-year-old injury-prone non-winner.
Nutcase.
Thank you. And they had the cheek to counter-offer it as well. They're like, yeah, that's a good offer, but we want more first-round picks. And I'm like, well, I would take it while you can.
How about you throw in Smart of Marcus? Al Horford.
How about you throw in Jason Tatum as well?
Grant Williams. If you put Grant Williams in, we'll take it.
Yeah. We want the Williams. We want as many Williams as we can get. Chuck Robbie Boy out there as well.
Yeah, in fact, just give us your entire roster and you can have him.
The Nets are like the most ridiculous. We want 13 first-round picks for Kevin Durant. How are you doing that? How's that going to work? Minnesota, it's just all Minnesota's fault at the end of the day. I mean, who trades 5 first-round picks for Rudy Gobert? What kind of nutcase does that?
I don't know.
I mean, you've got to be seeing things. I can't comprehend
Maybe they had a dream.
how it's got to be some kind of warped dream of reality. You've got to be like, you know what's a good idea? Rudy Gobert to pair with another centre.
Imagine them sitting around the office, just they get into their meeting of what they're going to do this offseason. Someone goes, Rudy
Some
Gobert.
like 20-year-old intern.
You know how we win?
Some like 20-year-old intern that does all the stats. According to my calculation, Rudy Gobert next.
Yeah, have you seen the? You haven't seen Ted Lasso, right?
No.
Well, there's there's basically the janitor guy. He does all the coaching basically because Ted Lasso doesn't know how to coach soccer. So it's
football, and
whatever.
that's why.
So it's a guy like that just goes Rudy Gobert.
It's just,
and then
I mean, fuck Ted Lasso as well. That if you know anything about football, you should not be watching that shit show.
A lot of football fans watch it.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of Americans, maybe. It's just like I hate sports. I hate sports TV shows and movies that are so unrealistic. You know when you have like a sports movie where they can't kick the ball. Like say you got a football movie and you can't kick the ball, and it's like
they couldn't. Even
I could be better than you. Like, what are you doing? I hate this.
They should have at least hired actors that knew how to play.
Yeah, it's just
like I could do better than what they do, but
oh yeah, of course you could. You were in the A's. I mean, you were in the A's. I mean,
like
you were the French Renaissance. They called you back in the day. Marie Antoinette, you were called because you just ate up. You ate up all the opposition. You just put them in your pocket. You ate them.
I guess
because you were the boss. You were the boss of the Year 7 A's. I will tell you that.
They called me Ronaldo.
I don't think they did.
They called me the White Ronaldo.
Isn't Ronaldo white?
Well,
he's tanned.
The Australian
we won't get
Ronaldo.
into the race of Ronaldo.
He's Portuguese.
Moving on. Portuguese.
Moving on to Ronaldo. Big meeting.
Yeah. Big meeting. Happened today. Well, it came out last night, Australian time, that they were going to have this meeting. I woke up this morning, saw the results of the meeting.
Looked like the entourage of the Queen was driving in.
Yeah, Brian Robson showed up. Sir Alex Ferguson showed up. It was like, we've got to get this guy to stay. And I can guarantee you 2 minutes into the interview or whatever it was, the meeting, they were like, yeah, we want to leave.
I'm going to stop you right there.
How about you just stay? It's a good idea. We've got it. Look at all the players. We signed a 5'9" centre back and a backup left back.
And a 34-year-old Christian Eriksen.
Who's had open heart surgery.
Who's borderline dead. But
we're on the up. Stay with us. And he's like, who's in your midfield? I think McTominay and Fred. I'm good. I'm good. Thanks, man.
You remember them from last year,
yeah,
right?
they were great. They've been here for 3 years straight. We've been fantastic under them. I don't know what you're talking about. What you're complaining about. It's just, and then the Frankie. I just paired with the Frankie De Jong. I mean, the guy couldn't. Oh, I'll talk about Bayern Munich first. I mean, they just outright, like they've said it 5 times. Nobody's asked them anything. They're just like, we don't want Ronaldo. We don't want Ronaldo here. Like, bro, no one asked you. They literally have press conferences talking about it. They're like, yeah, we need to bring this up quickly. Nobody's been talking about it, but I just in case anyone is getting any smart ideas, we don't want Ronaldo anywhere near this.
Why would they not want him?
He doesn't fit with their philosophy.
They've lost their big striker. They need it.
Well, he doesn't fit with their philosophy, apparently, whatever the fuck that means.
What, passing the ball?
Yeah, something like that. Teamwork. I don't know. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. And then more misery for Man United fans. I mean, Frankie De Jong, how many times does he have to say no? It's getting embarrassing at this point. It's just like, what are we doing? He's saying no every single time. We're like, we go there, we call him every day. We're like, hey, have you changed your mind yet?
You get those chocolates we sent you?
We sent you a new car. Do you want to hop in it and drive over it? No, I'm good. I like sunshine and rainbows, but not the wet and misery that is Manchester United at the moment. So it's a bit bizarre how we haven't gone for any other midfield targets. It's just him. Frankie De Jong. Yeah, is kind of problematic in a situation where you go for a player that doesn't want you. It'd be weird in like an NBA situation where you just heard constant news of
I mean, that happened with Kawhi.
What do you mean?
Well, he went to Toronto and he didn't want to go there.
No, it's a bit different though. Players don't have any control with trades. Yeah. So it's just so weird, man, how we just have no other midfield targets and I'm just going to see McTominay again. It's just, oh my God. It's like, what are we doing here, bro? If you watch the preseason and you watch guys like, you won't know them, but Charlie Savage and Zidane Akbal. We got a young player called Zidane, which is kind of cool. They outdid McTominay every game. They play in the same position. They play centre mid. Outdid McSauce every game. Every game they play better than him.
They're probably a bit young.
They're 17, 18, and they're better than him.
17?
Yeah, they're better than him.
Well, they're obviously too young to play.
I'd rather have them over him. Honestly. He hides from the ball. That's like I did that when I was in year 7. Like, hiding. Oh, I don't want the ball. I'm just going to hide behind the opposition. That's what he does. I can't comprehend how he still plays. And we still haven't addressed it. Oh, let's sign another striker. How about we sign a midfielder? Like, is it that hard to get one? It shouldn't be.
Must be.
Well, apparently. I mean, Frankie de Jong is like moving heaven and earth not to leave. I mean, apparently... And again, we talk about... We can sort of transition to the Barcelona topic.
Does Frankie de Jong even play for them anymore? Don't they have heaps of good midfielders?
No, they do. Well, we can transition to the Barcelona topic, right? This team, there's got to be some kind of money laundering or fraud going on here. I mean, how can they spend 200 million and then not pay their players? It doesn't make any sense. It's like if you got a mate and he owes you $800 like he does. No, you owe me 70. But anyway, moving on. It's like if a mate owes you like $800. Or, okay, I'll do a bit grander style. A mate owes you 10 grand, yeah? Owes you 10 grand. But then the next day, you ask him about it, and he says, oh, no, mate, I don't have the money at the moment. Sorry, I can't pay you. And then the day after that, you see on his Instagram story how he's got a new Ferrari. And it's like... how'd you pay for that, mate, if you haven't paid me yet? They've got Rafinha, they've got Koundé, they've got Lewandowski, they've got the whole kitchen sink, but they can't pay their own players. And
well, they must be able to pay them then.
They can't. They begging Frankie de Jong to leave. They're essentially saying, you have to leave, we can't afford to keep you. And it's ridiculous. But they keep on buying players. Xavi came out in a press conference and said, we really like Frankie de Jong at centre-back. I mean, and again, this is kind of Frankie's fault as well. Like, if your coach is telling you we want to play you at centre-back, it's kind of an indication that you shouldn't be hanging around.
Who even plays at centre-back?
PK, who, again, is on 80 million. He's owed 80 million. Hasn't been paid. Owed 80 million. PK's there. Araujo is a guy there.
They still have Umtiti?
No, another guy. They're not paid. Not another guy that they want to get rid of because they can't pay him. Unreal how they just keep on getting away with it, and the fact that Frankie de Jong has not got the memo yet. It's kind of your fault, buddy. But
he obviously
move on.
He obviously just doesn't care.
He does care. He's literally begging them to pay him the 17 million that they owe him, and he's just like, "Please, can you just pay me? I want to stay." And they're like, "No." And you hear about news it's every week they sort of circulate the same news of how he wants to stay, but he's not going to take a pay cut. Like, buddy, to stay, you've got to take a pay cut. What kind of game do you think you're playing? You think you're just going to cut everyone else's salary in half or something? You've got to either leave or cut your salary by like 70%, which is a lot of money. But so you might as well come to United.
You might as well, mate.
It's a graveyard for anyone's career, but at least you'll get paid. And then...
Why is it a graveyard? Why does everyone turn to shit when they get there?
Because we've got no structure. We're run by fucking American bankers who have no idea what they're doing. We've got no recruitment stuff. Our training ground is shitter than Norwich's training ground. Our ground, Old Trafford's falling to pieces. It's just... It's run by Muppets that have no clue what they're doing and just take money out of the club. And there's no develop. Can you name one player that's come to Manchester United that's gotten better? That's gotten better. Like, even a young player that we've brought in, who's got loads of potential, that's gotten better, or he's lived up to their hype.
I don't know. Not recently.
No, I mean since the Glazers, no one.
Ronaldo the first time.
Glazers weren't there the first time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's unreal. And I'm glad. Did you see Pogba got injured? He's out for 2 months. serves that
Is
sucker
that a
right.
celebration?
Yeah,
Is that a day for
yeah,
celebration?
I might have a red frog to celebrate. Actually, no, I won't. But it's great day. Great day.
What did he do?
Did something to his meniscus or something. I can't remember.
Well, that's unfortunate.
What are you talking about?
We don't
Unfortunate. He ruined
We
our.
don't want to wish injuries upon Paulie P.
Well, I don't want to sort of life-threatening injuries, but I mean,
We want him fit and firing for the
no,
World Cup.
I want career-ending injuries on him.
No, we want him in the World
The
Cup.
guy
We want
quit
him,
on Manchester United. I want him fucking shitting the bed at Juventus. Are you kidding me? And I'm not a French fan. Why would I want French players to do well?
I want French players to do well.
Yeah, but you're French. Why would I want that?
I'm saying,
From
my perspective.
France are the direct rival of England, of good old England up here. So yeah, mixed news in the world of sport, in the world of football, I shall say. Frankie de Jong still not coming. We signed officially Eriksen and Martinez, and the thing I said about Martinez about him being 5'9", I actually do rate him. He's very good. He's like you. He's a very good jumper. He's a good defender. He's got good mentality. So I like him. And he's going to replace Maguire. So that's it's a win in my book.
He's not going to replace Maguire.
Oh my god! If
Maguire will be there,
mate, if Maguire plays over Varane, I'm just going to lose it. I'm just going to lose it.
What if they? No, they're probably going to play this dude at CDM.
No, he's not a CDM. With Ten Hag doesn't play a CDM. 2, he's a centre back. So,
why don't you just play Varane in midfield?
Because he's slow as fuck. Have you seen him run? He waddles about a bit. He does waddle about. So yeah, that's the news in the world of football and Man United. Not great news, but the season starts next week, so I'm pumped for that.
Yeah, so we'll move into a few early predictions, I guess. How we see the lay of the land.
Yeah, do you want to do
in the EPL
top 4? Top 4 and relegated.
I think it's top 4. It's going to be same as last year.
What was that? What was last year's?
Chelsea, City, Liverpool, and Tottenham.
Yeah, good job. Proud of you. I see it a bit differently.
Actually, I think Arsenal could get in over Tottenham.
No, never say that. Don't put that into the universe. I actually think Man United are going to finish first. Can't lie.
That is so
no, I'm just
unbelievable.
Kidding. Well, we did win. We're unbeaten in pre-season.
We beat Wrexham 4-1.
Mate, don't disrespect my hometown. Yeah,
Well,
Wrexham
I'm
is my home.
disrespecting their team for sure.
So yeah, but
For sure.
we were unbeaten in pre-season. So technically,
Unfortunately, those games mean jack.
unfortunately, I wish they meant something. But yeah, I do think City first, Liverpool second. Chelsea have looked dodgy in pre-season. Look real dodgy. But again, pre-season doesn't mean that much. We were Spurs third, United fourth. Shock Chelsea.
They're getting in there. United's getting in there.
Snuck in there. We've snuck in there. We've won the Europa League and the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup as well.
Honestly, winning the Europa League is your best shot of making Champions League.
It is. It is. It's not even like it is. Definitely our best shot. But yeah, who's the main competitor? We got Arsenal, who's going to be in there. Who they look strong, and they've signed a couple of players, a couple of backup players.
Yeah, they've actually got signed good signings.
Have they? They've signed backup players.
Jesus is good.
Man City had one striker. That was him. And they didn't even play him.
Yeah, but
he was the only
decent.
striker in the team, and they didn't play him at striker.
He's better than fucking most strikers.
No, he's not. And then they signed a backup left back in Zinchenko. So
didn't they sign someone else decent?
Fabio Vieira. They signed. You wouldn't know him.
No, I don't.
I know. In all truth, I think they did decent in the window, but I wouldn't certainly rate them above Spurs.
Did Spurs get anyone good?
Yeah, Spurs did a lot of good business, I thought. They've got a good manager in Conte. They improved that midfield. They got Basuma in that midfield. Do you know who Basuma is? I did a couple of other stuff.
Nope.
They improved that squad, I thought. So I think Spurs third. Chelsea looks shocking. And I know it's pre-season, but I think they're really weak in certain areas. And I think Tuchel is on the hot seat.
But he was like praised as...
I know, but I still think he's on
a
a hot seat because...
He's up there with Pep, isn't he?
Well, it depends how they start the season. I know they got Koulibaly, they got Sterling.
Well, they lost Rudiger, didn't they?
They lost Rudiger. And they lost out on Koundé as well. So, and they lost out to multiple players to Barcelona, so who signed all their players that they wanted, basically. But I do think they're going to make more moves in the transfer market. However, they're not that strong in terms of up top. I think it's still got Timo up top. So they're still weak in certain areas, in my opinion. So let's see. But I don't think they look that good. But I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea finished top 4.
They've got way better players than United.
Way better.
Yeah.
Way better. We got Ronaldo.
Yeah, apart from Ronaldo and Sancho.
Well, does Ronaldo play for us anymore? It depends.
I saw a thing that they've benched him.
No, they haven't benched him. He just hasn't played.
No, but I mean, like when the season starts, they're not.
Well,
gonna start
Martial's look good, but I wouldn't.
It's fair that they bench him. Martial is way better.
I really wouldn't play Martial over Ronaldo, if I'm honest.
You wouldn't recommend that?
I wouldn't recommend that just for common sense.
No, but they're going, fuck you. If you don't want to be here, you can sit on the bench.
Yeah, but there's certain players you can do that to. Like, you can do that to Lukaku. I don't think you can do that to the greatest player of all time. If you told
Juventus did it to him.
No, they didn't.
The last game he played, they sacked him off on the bench.
Well,
and then he came on and nearly scored the game winner.
Well, again, I can't imagine anyone telling Maradona in his playing days to sit on the bench. I couldn't imagine anyone telling Messi or Ronaldo to do it either. So, yeah, it's a bit hit and miss. I do think he'll stay because no one else wants him, though. So I do think he is our player still. Sancho's looked solid in pre-season. Rashford, I still think's dog shit, but
he scored a couple goals.
Yeah, but he's so one-dimensional. He's so one-dimensional. He is a really good one-on-one player and getting behind a defense. However, he has got no build-up skill level. Like, he can't work in tight areas. He's not, even though he's skillful, he's not a creator at any point.
Yeah, his touch is heavy and loose.
He's just really a one-dimensional player, and he's a good player to have in your squad, I think, but he's not your starting left winger for a contender. So, yeah, there are main problems with our midfield. We'll address attack when we've got a fucking midfield. I mean, Jesus Christ, the day that Scott McTominay's out the team, then we can start looking at midfield and other attack and other positions. So, yeah, moving on.
Okay, you want to do relegation?
Relegation.
I need to research what teams are even.
Well, relegation, it's a tough one. I think Everton are going down.
Everton?
They look poor. They lost Richarlison, their best player. They're rumoured to sign Dwight McNeil, who's a Burnley player, but what did he do last year for Burnley when they got relegated?
Did Everton have James Rodriguez?
They lost him 2 years ago.
Right. They still have Wayne Rooney, right?
Yeah, Wayne Rooney's still playing, yeah.
I'm joking.
Mate, it'd be fucking shocking if you weren't joking. But yeah, I think Everton are going down. They've got a poor team. Frank Lampard, I'm not convinced whatsoever that he's a good manager. He did worse than Rafa Benitez.
I just can't see Everton. They're just they're a good club.
They're an established club.
You don't really see good clubs
longest team in the
relegated.
Premier League. They've never been relegated from the first division, I don't think. And they're a great team, they're a great historic team, but they lost their best player. They've got a shit manager, and they haven't replaced him with anyone. So they haven't signed any players. They lost their best player, and they've kept the same shit manager. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Nottingham Forest, I think, is going to stay up because they've done a lot of good business. I mean, they signed 13 players. I think if you're looking at it, I don't want to say Fulham because I like Fulham. I've got a sort of an association with Fulham. I think Brentford
Bournemouth
are looking like they're going to go. Bournemouth. I do think Bournemouth are going to go down. I do like Bournemouth, but I just don't think their team's good enough. I like Scott Parker as a manager, but yeah, I just don't rate him that much. And then you've got, let me think. Southampton are a tricky one. I think Southampton.
They were pretty shit last year. But
Southampton.
They used to be good.
I think Leeds were in the sort of fight last year, but Leeds look a lot better. And they've signed a lot of American players.
Newcastle?
Well, yeah, I mean, actually, no, fuck Leeds. Leeds are going down. Fuck them. signed a bunch of Yanks, mate. I don't want Leeds to stay up. But I think it's between Leeds and
Crystal Palace?
no, Crystal Palace are good. I think between Leeds and maybe Southampton, I think are going down. I think Nottingham Forest are safe. I think Fulham are safe. I think Fulham are safe, and I think
Aston Villa, they're going down?
no, they're staying up. Everton. So I think what is it? Everton, Bournemouth,
Leeds.
I don't think it's going to be Leeds though. Baby. Yeah, I think Leeds actually. Yeah, Leeds going down.
Okay.
They've signed a lot of players. They spent a lot of money, but it's on a bunch of Americans.
Didn't they lose their best player?
Yeah, they also lost Rafinha as well. So, yeah, I mean, relying on a team of Americans, I mean, how well are you going to do, realistically? I mean...
Well, if they got good at soccer, then pretty well.
They got soccer. Let's go, guys. Let's go out and play on the field, man. Let's play some soccer.
Let's get on the pitch.
We could beat these guys at soccer, man. Come on. And it's like, fuck off. If I was an English player in that dressing room, I'd just lose it. I'd just be like, oh my God, I can't deal with this anymore. Get me out of here. So, yeah, Leeds, Everton, and Bournemouth are my relegation candidates. What are yours?
So mine are Manchester United. I really have no clue. Let's just go Fulham, Brighton, and
Brighton. That's
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham. Oh God! Watch him. He just picked that out of a lucky draw. Watch him be right as well. Just this lucky son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving on.
First game of the season against Brighton. Ooh, yeah.
We'll get a gauge if their midfield gets overrun by Scotty T, then you're going down. I think it's pretty safe to say if you get beaten by our midfield, then you're shocking. So moving on. Do a quick little UFC preview. Why can't we be friends? Sorry,
are you right there?
That was just a bit of singing.
Right. UFC 277 this week. Big pay-per-view. Not really, though. It's kind of a shit pay-per-view, so I'll just do it.
How about you not say big pay-per-view?
So, main event, Nunez versus Pena 2.
Nunez.
The rematch. Obviously, Pena with the biggest upset in history in the first fight, basically. Now, they really have tried to sell this fight very, very hard, obviously.
But no one's buying it.
Because they know it's a weak as shit pay-per-view. So, they made them the Ultimate Fighter coaches. They've done that. And I don't know, I guess people care about this fight, but I was talking to Mitch at the time about this, our mate. The first fight was so horrendously bad, skill-wise. Like, it was literally
I thought Amanda Nunez was the greatest female fighter of all time.
Yeah, she is, but she was absolutely terrible in that fight. Like, they were literally just standing there going like this for 5 minutes until one of them fell over. Like, it was horrendous.
Well, I mean, that's a good old classic fight, though.
Wow, this is incredible.
That's a classic fight.
Like, it made for a good fight because they were so shit. And I can't believe this is I just don't give a fuck at all, to be honest, about this fight.
I do. I think it's going to be a great fight. I don't know what you're talking about.
Really? Well, Nunez should win. If she doesn't win this, her legacy is ruined.
I don't think it's ruined.
It's ruined.
Is it?
Pena sucks.
Is she lower than Ronda Rousey?
Holly Holm would beat Pena right now.
Is she lower than Ronda Rousey all time for you then if she loses?
Ronda Rousey is nowhere near the top for me.
What? She's the greatest female of all time. What are you talking about?
She was terrible, though.
In what?
At MMA. The only thing she was good at is arm bars.
Yeah.
And she was versing bums that didn't know anything.
Yeah, she was like picking fucking lunch money from 5-year-old kids. It was a bit weird because she was clearly the best wrestler, and
she fought the first person who knew how to throw a punch was Holly Holm. She got knocked the fuck out, and then the second person she fought who knew how to throw a punch was Nunez. She got knocked the fuck out. So, it is what it is.
Yeah. So, who else is in this card? I mean,
co-main event. Bit of more of a interesting fight, but still not really. Interim title fight in the flyweights between Brandon Moreno and Kai Kara France.
Oh God,
you know who he is?
Does it look like I watch fucking midgets fight?
They have good fights. Kai Kara France is from the same gym as Izzy, so he's kind of got he's kind of got the hometown support.
Well, can you, please, is there an interesting name in this card, please?
Well, Derek Lewis is fighting.
Oh, okay, he's a bit interesting. He's a big motherfucker. Who's he fighting?
Sergey Pavlovich.
Great fight. I love Sergey.
Got Anthony Smith versus Magomed Ankalaev.
What's with the Magomeds? There's a lot of them. Why is it?
They're taking over.
I know, but they're all from Dagestan, right?
Most of them.
But what's the name with Magomed? Why is there so many Magomeds? Like Khabib?
It's a Russian name.
I know, but it's everyone. It's like, get some originality. Like, Jesus.
I don't know. But, yeah, I'll take Kai in the co-main just because I like him, but Moreno will probably win, to be fair. So, yeah, honestly, a pretty shit card.
You started off with it being a great card, so I don't know what you're talking about.
No, and even Izzy has a YouTube channel and he previewed the fights.
And he's like, oh, mate, this is shit.
Like his teammates on the card who he's so supportive. And the dude was like, so what would you rate this card out of 10? And he goes, probably a 4.5. He's like, well, it's a great job at selling your mate's card. But, yeah.
All right, moving on. But let's move on from that shithole of a card.
Okay. Getting onto the big stuff.
Oh, the big stuff. I love the big stuff. What? What? What do you say?
What?
No, I don't know. Why? What did you say? Huh? Oh no, just move it on.
Big stuff.
Yeah. I didn't say that. I don't know what you said. What were you gonna say anyway?
Huh?
What were you saying?
I was saying, that's it.
That's it. You were just talking. You just said big stuff.
Well, we could talk about our trip.
Okay. You started off.
So we went away to the snow last week. Got back on Friday. You know, good little trip. 5 days with the boys.
Can you not say the boys? Like we're 15 years old.
Well, it's a boys trip.
The boys. Okay.
There was no girls we went with, so it's a boys trip.
Okay.
So yeah, for a few of you, first time. We're not done much skiing in the past, so that was interesting. But I guess we can just do a little recount.
Recount, like we're in
some of the events.
Well, okay. So usually, I'll do my experience first day. So usually, when you learn to ski, right, you go down flat little hills with trainers and instructors. You know, you're on little skis, and you learn how to basically ski on flat ground, so you know what you're doing. Now, I want to just paint a picture for you. I've never skied in my life, right? So I was expecting that. I was expecting us to sort of begin, because there was another person in our group that hasn't skied before. So I was expecting, you know, that me and him might, or a couple of us might go on the flat slopes and just learn how to ski, learn how to snowboard, learn how to do everything. But no, this bright man over here and many other group members said, you know what, look, the best way to learn is just to die. So how about you just go down this massive cliff and learn how to ski from that? So it didn't go out well for me. I remember he went with me the first run, and I just remember looking at him, just staring at him, just like, you motherfucker. You let me go down this hill, this cliff dive. And I was just falling down all the time, and I was falling down so much that I actually physically couldn't get up. Like my legs couldn't.
Just really weak.
I mean, I'm a lanky kid, but so it's not great for me anyway. But still, it was just an absolute nightmare for me, especially early on. And
this is your issues, right? Multiple issues. Right?
My issues. Okay.
So, firstly, there was 6 of us, there. And the other 5 of us were all snowboarding, and we went to the shop. We were like, here, no, let me
no
talk,
clue.
Let me talk. We were
how
like,
to ski.
Here, pick a snowboard so we can all do it together and teach
I already
you.
did it, but I already picked it before.
No, before you picked it, I was telling you get a snowboard, and then you were like, no, I'm gonna ski, just because I want to ski because it's easier apparently. So you picked skis. That was your first mistake. Now you've expected me to be some sort of ski god instructor when I'm a snowboarder, and I haven't skied since I was 10 or something, so my knowledge is limited. So I'm not going to be a fucking god ski instructor, right? So your second mistake is not getting lessons, which you should have done.
I'm poor. I can't get lessons, mate.
You can. On your first day, you should have got a lesson. They would have taken you on the fucking Friday Flats. Now, we went to Thredbo, if you don't know, and the baby run or the flat run is called Friday Flats. Now, the only way I will be going down Friday Flats for the rest of my life is if I'm dead and taken there in a body bag. So I just refused to go there. So I took him to Merritts, which is basically the adult learner's hill. So you went on a learning hill. It's a hill full of green runs for learners. It's a learning place. So
once you've got knowledge, though.
You were struggling on the easiest place in the mountain that wasn't Friday Flats. So it's not like I took you down a black run.
You took me down a fucking blue one the next day, though. Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah, that's pretty standard. A blue run standard. So
standard for people that know how to do.
Now, the reason that you struggled was in the first day, you did one run and you were like, okay, that's enough. I'm going back. So,
brother, it took 2 hours. I was dead.
It was the worst run of my life, but still.
Your life? What about my life?
Yeah, but I was just sitting there doing nothing. You were at least in pain or something. Okay. So you taking the gondola back down, packed it in after one run. I had a good rest of the day, to be fair. Yeah, and then on the second day, when we all went back out, you're like, oh, I've got an assignment to do. So the entire second day you just missed because of an assignment.
Yeah.
And like when you have never skied before, every day you progress a lot. So Henry progressed a lot in the second day and he became decent at it, right? And then on the third day you come back out and that's when you went down the blue run. And by that stage Henry was better than you pretty much. And you were always behind. So it was just...
But the blue, like that story, okay? So we go up and we're like, oh, okay, I'll try this. And they're like, one direction's green, one direction's blue. And I'm like, okay, I'm assuming we're all going to go down green. Because that's what they said, we go down a green one. But turns out they go to the other way. They go down the blue. And I'm like, oh, come this way. And I'm like, oh, fine, whatever. I'll go with them. And I'm like, and I'm telling them as we're on the fucking, we're just starting to go that way. I'm like, mate, I don't want to do a blue. I've done one run in my life. I am dog shit. Please, let's go on the green. I'm like, no, dude, it turns into a green though. It's like, it's blue/green. It's basically green. And then I'm like, oh, and they just keep on chatting to me and sort of convincing me that it's green. And if you don't know, blue's the medium. It's like green's easy, blue's medium, black is hard. Yeah. So anyway, I go and I'm like, and it's like a sort of path almost that goes around.
A path?
It's like a snow path that goes around like the cliff where you start off. So you're sort of walking on your skis, and then all of a sudden, Oscar just drops off the cliff, and I'm like, huh? Did he fall off? Did he go the wrong way or something? Because I assumed you followed it around to go down a nice sort of easy-looking hill. Nope. There's a straight drop off a cliff, essentially. And I'm like, oh my God. And they all go down it. And I'm like, oh God, I cannot believe. And it's too late to go back because it's uphill. Like, you can't go up ski, especially my quality anyway.
Well, it's actually easy to do it on skis. You just have no ability. So
yeah, I can't go uphill on skis. So I can't go back to the greens. So I'm like, oh my God, I've got to go down this fucking cliff. Anyway, I go down and I'm just like dying because I swear to God, the snow is so much harder on the blue. It's I don't know how to explain
just steeper.
It. No, but cause I feel like there's a lot more cushion in the green slopes. Like there's a lot more cushion with the snow. Like if you fall down, it doesn't hurt.
Well, it depends on the run.
But this one, it fucking scraped me and bruised me, and it was just. I had at that point, because I'd done a couple runs that day, my legs were so done, and my quad. And I've got limited muscle on my legs. Let's be real. And I didn't know how to go side to side, so I was just basically braking the whole time and using my quads the entire time I'm skiing.
So
right?
Basically, to imagine what this guy looked like on the mountain, just imagine the Leaning Tower of Pisa, but doing a triangle with his feet at the bottom.
That's the other thing he told me. He's like, this is how you ski. Make a triangle.
That's how you learn. You do fucking snowplow. So he just did snowplow, but dead straight the entire run. So he was.
I was drifting
flexing
though.
His legs the whole time.
I was drifting. Did you see me? I was drifting in and out with the snowplow.
Sure. But
I look good at some corners.
But it's hard to teach someone to ski when you're not skiing yourself, so you can't do examples. So and while we were there, my cousin and my uncle were down there who ski. So I was like, these guys can teach you. And they were like, yeah, sure, we'll teach him. But you never stayed out to learn from them.
Because my legs were dead. Anyway, but we get down here, and they've done it like 40 minutes ago. I'm like fucking climbing my way down. I'm like, oh my God. And Chib, we got a friend called Chib. The cheek on this guy. He comes down. I think he didn't come down with us originally. He came down later. And he just flies past me and goes, oi, hurry up. And I'm like, you son of a bitch, I'm going to fucking sock you in the face, you motherfucker. It's like, dude, it's pretty easy, dude. Just go fucking... And I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, we finally get to the point where it intersects with the green, like they said. And it was pretty clean sailing. And I was just standing up. I was like, oh my God. And I'm just sliding down. And we get to the end and they're all waiting for me. And I'm like, just clomping around. I'm like, oh my God. And they're like, hey, you want to go again? I'm like, fuck off. I'm just going to stay here for a bit. I need a fucking rest. Anyway, I sit down. I get a glass of water. I'm sitting on the snow, just basically dead. My legs are burning. And I'm like, oh my God, I just don't want to see these guys again. I just don't. I just want them to like, not break a leg, but like sprain an ankle or something. And they've got to stay there for like an hour so I can get a break. And anyway, by the time they come back down, I'm like, oh, I literally can't move my legs. Like I physically...
You've never seen anything like it.
It was so...
If you've ever been to the snow before, you've never seen anything like it.
But I understand it's mainly down to my technique because of the snowplow. Because I was braking all the time down the hill. I wasn't having any brakes. So my quads, which are skinny anyway, are constantly using downward pressure. So it's like my legs are completely gone. So I just went home on that day. So I went home a bit early. I can't remember. It was like 1:30ish maybe. I can't remember exactly. But I went back to the accommodation. So yeah, by the time it got to the fourth day, I mean, there was no point fucking going with them because they were like going down black diamonds, doing loop-de-loops. And I'm just like, mate, I got to stay on the green.
Did you even try a T-bar?
No, I was nowhere near
5 days and didn't even try a T-bar.
Brother, I was nowhere near that.
They're not hard. They're not black runs.
Yeah, but I know, but to get to the T-bar...
you just go sideways. It's easy.
Yeah, again, I'm not... This is what they said on the mountain. It's easy. Just do this.
Henry and Freddie did T-bars, and it's way harder on a snowboard, so...
No, I'm not saying the T-bar itself was hard. I'm saying to get to the T-bar itself, you'd have to go down some fucking hard places.
It's harder to get there on a snowboard. So
I'm not saying it isn't, but it's impossible for me to get there on skis.
No, it wouldn't be impossible. It was just the same as it wouldn't be any harder than the run you did.
Which run? The blue one?
Yeah.
Well, that was impossible, so...
Well, you did it, so it wouldn't...
Barely did it. I wouldn't call it doing it. So yeah, anyway, I mentioned to this to Oscar, I actually really enjoyed probably the time period from 4 o'clock till 8 o'clock in the morning. I thought it was great. We were playing beer pong, playing pool with other people in the place as well, with my mates. It was a really fun time other than the skiing. And I knew it coming in. I told him, like, mate, I'm not going to enjoy this. I'm just coming here to drink.
Your mentality was not there. You weren't open enough to it.
I'm not meant to ski. I'm meant to fly, not ski.
No.
Look, I had fun in general. And obviously, if I was much better at skiing, I'd find it really fun. But it was so unbelievably difficult for me at times. And it was fucking painful at times as well. But in general, I enjoyed the trip because it was good to sort of drink and just hang around people and just fucking be out the house and for a good week. And I enjoyed it in general. But
that's good.
But again, in decisions of lads trips, I wouldn't choose it as my number one. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, it'll be my number one. Skiing's probably my favorite thing to do.
Your number one? I'd much rather. I'd go to Fiji, America, Europe.
I would probably pick America or Europe, but you can ski there. So
I'm not fucking skiing there. Jesus Christ, we're avoiding. It's gonna be like, yeah, can we go to Switzerland? Yeah, we're on the way. Fucking miss it, mate. I'll catch you in fucking Germany. How about that? You can go to Switzerland for a day. I'll fucking meet you in Germany while I'm sinking fucking pints of beer. So yeah.
Do you want to do like a ranking?
A ranking? Well, a ranking of what?
of the participants
But in terms of what, though?
in their performance throughout the week.
Again, look, I'm last in terms of actual performance.
But it's everything. We'll incorporate skiing performance and
they'll get pissed off at us.
and off-field performance. No, they won't. It's funny.
You think okay.
They shouldn't. Like, we're not saying anything personal or anything. It's just their
Okay.
performance on the week, and we can include ourselves.
Okay.
I'm obviously first.
Okay. do you want me to judge you on your performance?
No. Okay. How about we'll do each other last.
Okay.
So who else is there? We got Chib, Henry, Freddie, Brick.
Yeah. Chib, Henry, Freddie, Brick, me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd put everyone top gold star. Great job.
No, but we're splitting hairs here. No one's performed badly.
Mm.
I'll put Henry at the bottom.
What? What for? He literally learned
Just
how to
because-
snowboard.
Yeah, but he was still the worst by a mile.
I was the worst by a mile.
Yeah, but not including you.
Okay.
You're obviously bottom.
I'm on
But
a different level bottom. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll put you 6th. I'll put Henry 5th.
Yeah.
Obviously off-field performance was really good, but was the worst by a mile on the slopes. So that's the only reason I'm putting him 5th. 4th.
I won fucking games of beer pong single-handedly as well.
Fucking.
So off field,
Okay, well we can weight it how you want. I weight
Okay.
on-field performance higher than off-field.
Okay.
So that's my spectrum. But
Fair.
4th. Toss up between Brick and Freddie. Actually, I think I'll put Brick 4th because he was one of the better snowboarders, but he's a taken man. Off-field performance, there isn't as much engagement, I guess you could say.
Oh god.
So we'll put him 4th. Then 3rd, Freddie tries hard, so I'm tempted to put Freddie 2nd and Chib 3rd.
I mean,
Chib's probably slightly better
Yeah.
on the mountain, but Freddie was probably slightly better off. So
Was he?
no, maybe not. I don't know.
It's up for interpretation.
I mean, he was kind of sick, so he was sick the last night. So I'll
Yeah.
put Freddie 3rd, Chib 2nd, and I guess that's it.
So what? You put yourself first?
I don't want to put myself first.
God, here we go.
I put myself
Fucking
last.
bumping himself up. Look, in terms of on field, I'd put it's based on my performance, on my interpretation. So I probably see it differently. I'd put, and it's based on different things. So yours is basically on who's the best skier or snowboarder. Mine's on,
Well, it's both, but I put that as a higher weighting than who drank more or whatever.
well, I'm not. I think everyone was good off the field. I mean, there wasn't that much to do. There was a nightclub, but it smelled like fucking. God, someone had taken a fucking shit in there. But yeah, it was. I don't think anyone was bad off the field. But yeah, on the field, I'd say I put Henry up top, honestly, just because he learned. He's the most uncoordinated kid.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he did do very well.
And then he was able to do a lot of things. And I wish I could have got to that point, but I think Tuesday
he
killed me.
he was doing what you were doing. He was just breaking down the whole mountain. He was just doing it quicker than you.
Yeah, well,
He didn't turn or anything, but he was just getting down.
well, yeah. I just think it was the second day that really took me out because I had to do a uni assignment too. I had to do a fucking budget, which was a pain in the ass. So that kind of took me out for a day. So I think that probably took away from my performance. But yeah, I don't know. I'd probably put Henry up top, to be honest, just for how much he learned.
Okay.
I'd put. I'm trying to think. Chib was good, but he got on my nerves. I mean,
He does that though. He's got that ability.
he did get on my nerves. I mean, Chib, in terms of commitment to the mountain, I mean, he's right up there. I mean, the guy was.
I was more committed.
First light, he was out
all talk. He was 8 till 4. He was off the mountain before me every day.
Yeah, but he was first light. He was up there.
That's just weird. Leaving everyone at the lodge to fucking go up by yourself.
But yeah, I thought he was decent, but that bit where he passed me and went, "Oh, hurry up!" God, I was just fucking, and I was in so much pain then as well. I was just, oh my god, this. But yeah, look, I'm not gonna. I can't rank it. I didn't see you enough But there was I'm not gonna get into off field. There was a couple of funny things that were funny, but I don't think anyone was piss poor. I mean, there was some failed flirting attempts, but that's about it. I mean, everyone else was just there was a good time. We had, pool performance, and beer pong. I'd probably put myself up top. I'm not gonna lie. I was feeling it, beer pong.
So for the beer pong, right? We bought it. Well, I bought a table. No one said thank you, but yeah, I bought a table.
Wow, you bought a table.
Well, it was expensive. No one else helped.
Yeah, but you already had the table.
Yeah, but I paid for it.
Okay.
That's what I mean by I bought it.
Okay.
But no one brought cups, which I specifically put in the chat. I was like, can someone please bring cups? Fucking no one brings cups.
Well, we're not great with that. That's hard.
How hard is it though? And it's like, so we had to buy cups from the only shop there, and they only had little cardboard ones they're not regulation size. They're smaller than regulation size.
This is an excuse. This is
my performance was
you were
off.
poor.
My performance was
you were really poor.
I was poor.
You were the worst on ground by far.
My shot doesn't work for those cups because in real cups I'm very good. Like I'm usually the best with normal cups.
No, you were worse on ground by far.
But yeah, with these cups, my shot just didn't work for some reason. I have like a really like basketball type of shot. It's really loopy and flicky. And it just didn't work with those cups. But I don't know.
Yeah, I thought I was great. I won a game single-handedly. So yeah, I thought it was a good time. Look, it wasn't really that kind of trip. It was one of those chilled trips where when you get back, you're just chilling, you're drinking, you're playing a couple games, you're laughing with the other people there. And, if you went to Europe or you went to America, you'd be fucking getting hammered every night. So it's a bit different in terms of lads trip, but I enjoyed it. I don't know about you. Is this if you were to rank your desired sort of lads trip vacations, where would the snow rank?
I just love the snow, so it'll be up there for me.
What's the next one, do you reckon? What's your next sort of aim for the lads trip? What would your be desired location?
Maybe Goldie or something.
Goldie?
Yeah, in summer. I don't know. Just because I want to go to theme parks, but
that's the thing with this guy. He's like, I want to go.
Mate, I like activities. Not like activities.
I want to go to Europe.
No, the thing is, Chib likes activities.
Oh, that's like, Chib. That's his Chib.
Like walking his dog as an activity. But I like activities like skiing or roller coasters or something cool.
See, I'd go to Gold Coast for the nightclubs and the drinking.
That's also there, but I would want to go because of the theme parks.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, everyone talk. It's a common like joke in everyone's group about how everyone wants to do a Europe trip, but nobody does it.
Well, pretty much everyone in the North Shore did a Europe trip this holiday, so.
Well, other than us. I would like to do a Europe trip.
I want to do one as well, but not. I want to go to 2024 for the Olympics.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to do also America. If we're still all buddies by then. The World Cup in America. That'd be cool. In 4 years' time. So yeah, there's a lot of things. I think also like a tropical vacation, like just to chill. Tropical. Like like a Hawaii or a Fiji or something like that. I think that'd be nice. Just to get a tan. I'm pasty as fuck. I need a tan. So yeah, I'd rank it probably my lowest I could possibly rank it in terms of a lads trip, but I still enjoyed my time because it's a lads trip. So I'm not gonna.
Well, we've only had 2 lads trips, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, we've had a few, but
we've had a few. So, but yeah, we got to do one more, even if it's like a small one to like your fucking place, your farm place. We got to just do it more often, like when everyone's got on a break or something, because it's fun when we go there, even if it's for like 3 or 4 days. It's good to get on a trip to have sort of chill out and have some fun. So yeah, this is the podcast for this week. Tune in next week. Like, share, subscribe. Follow us on TikTok at Claw and the King, and Instagram as well. So yeah, we're popping off. Are we popping off? I don't think we're popping off, but we're having a good old
Again, we've had a long break in between episodes. Now there was an episode filmed.
I was in the snow. What for me?
Snow.
I was focusing on my skiing abilities.
We recorded it days before we left.
I was doing work as well.
Doing work. All you have to do is press upload.
It's tough, man.
It's not tough.
Dragging that mouse to the upload button, it's just so tough.
Yeah, clearly.
But yeah, anyway, like, share, and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed it. we would just ramble on a bit at the end, but hope you enjoyed the rest of it. And
Up Manly tonight. Fucking get up the Pride.
well, I would say that, but I'm a Roosters fan, so up the Chooksy. Up the Chooksies? The Chooksies?
No one says that.
The Chooksies?
What the fuck?
I think the Chooksies is a new nickname. Or Chooks.
It's the Chookies. How is it?
No, it's the Chooks. It's not Chookies.
Some people say Chookies.
It says Chookies. Anyway, moving on. Bye-bye. Hasta la vista,
Bye.
baby.